Welcome to the Man Whore Podcast.
Whoa, what am I doing here? It is Tuesday still, but you weren't expecting me. I know, I get it. Came a little too quick. Hey, happens to the best of us. What's up, everybody? Billy Procida here with a little teaser for a bonus episode, a free bonus episode now available on my Patreon page exclusively. This month's free bonus episode is with Hacienda's founder, Andrew Sparksfire, where he, in the episode, he teaches us a bit about the origin of this wonderful sex-positive community, and he also gives a lot of tips and tricks on how to throw a kick-ass sex party. Every month we're putting these free bonus episodes out. All you have to do is go to patreon.com/manwhorepodcast to hear it. You click the post tab and it'll be right there. There's also a link to it directly in the show notes. Now this teaser clip you're going to hear, Andrew has just shared a story about a mistake he made and learned from, which was putting the right people in charge of your play party. And he shares how once upon a time, Hacienda did not have a reputable fella running things. And it caused a lot of pain to people. And it also caused a rebirth for the community. So that's what he's just shared. And now you're going to hear a bit more about how that party returned to the New York sex party scene. Again, if you want to hear this full thing in its entirety, you go to patreon.com/manwhorepodcast. That's Patreon, patreon.com/manwhorepodcast. It's 100% free. So you cut ties with the guy, but you threw a sex party like really soon afterwards. Tell me a bit about that.
Yeah, we had a party that was I think it was October 2013, and it was already on the calendar. And this guy, the person who was causing the problem, he was still living upstairs on the third floor. So we just kept the party to the first floor. We had a small number of people, like 50 or 60 people. We reformulated the guest list, and we sent out an invite that was basically it was a we sent out an invite that where the theme was just simply welcome to Hacienda, like this, as if to say this is a completely new party, this is a whole new thing, and we apologized for I included a personal note where I acknowledged that we hadn't really been perfect in the past, and we were going to change that, and things were going to change at this point, and the party is now being run by Beth and Eric, and we started with a small number of people again, started up again from scratch, and it was amazing how many people came from to that party who hadn't been for years. People I hadn't seen for such a long time, because they had been avoiding the party because of this guy, and they'd been avoiding it, and I had no idea. I was clueless. I mean, I should have known, but I didn't, and I just didn't realize how many people he'd pissed off, and how many people were avoiding the party because they felt that it was unsafe. And I really had it was a real wake-up call, to see all those people, and those people were so happy and ecstatic that that he was gone, that we were back, and we were back as the great party that we had started as.
Awesome. And what I hear now is, and I've heard things like that as well. No one ever told me the why. They were just like, oh man. But I feel like more so, especially more recently, as the party has gotten bigger, since you guys moved it to La Villa and were able to take in more people, I feel like it's like the cool party in New York City. That's what I'm told. I've never been part of the cool kids. And then all of a sudden somebody told me one day, they were like, oh yeah, Hacienda's like the cool kid party. I was like, I'm part of the cool kid party? I was like, oh. And so, what is that process?
I think that we have to have a battle at some point as to who was the uncoolest kid. Because I was like, I'm sure that I was the uncoolest kid, but from what I hear from you, you were the uncoolest kid also, and
a bunch of misfits all fucking each other in the same house.
I was definitely the uncoolest kid at school. So yes, it's very weird to be to have this party that's the cool kid party.
But to come back, the redemption narrative to coming from like having this bad reputation in the scene. What is that? I guess restorative justice like to have it for the most part. I would say forgiven, or maybe not forgotten, but forgiven, or I don't know, respected amongst people in the sex party scene in New York.
Oh, there's always at the back of my mind is always, the people who, they, especially as I'm going around, being more public about this stuff and talking about sex parties and talking about Hacienda and so on. At the back of my mind is all the people, whoever, now it's not like a massive list of people, but there's people out there who, who had experiences that were not positive here, and I'm sure it brings up memories for them, and it's not, those aren't good memories. So I think of those people, and that's always at the back of my mind. But I think it's also important to push the party forward and push I really do strongly believe that socializing around sex, hosting sex parties is, these are the community. This is the community center for the sex positive community. This is how we get together and and promote our cause. This is the place where we all meet, and they're important, and it's important to have big sex parties as well, and it's important for them to be normalized, and that whole process, I think, is makes it all worthwhile.